First alert weather right now. They're talking about the heat. Obviously, this is very serious for people who are playing, but also if you plan on going, just be careful.
Yeah, it's not only the heat, it's the high humidity that makes it so difficult for your body to cool itself. So we've got our first alert weather day for that tomorrow, when things are going to peak and be at their worst, and then we've got a threat for storms on Friday. So rain is actually something we could use. Look how dry the month of June has been so far. Just around a half an inch so far reported at Bradley Airport. We're certainly dry for the time being. Hazy sunshine looking live from Hartford. 89 degrees in our capital city. From New Haven, 84 with a south-southwest wind. So along the shoreline, certainly more comfortable compared to inland Connecticut. 78 right now in Groton. Inland still upper 80s to low and mid 90s. Tomorrow, even hotter weather on tap. We've got these dew point values up in the 70 to 75 degree range. We're expecting that again tomorrow. So current feels like current heat index values upper 90s, even triple digits at times, say in and around Windsor Locks, and from 80 in Groton to close to 90 right now in New Haven. So dew point values do remain up over the next several days. It's not until early next week that a cold front will finally push through and bring some relief from the humidity. But otherwise, over the weekend, it remains humid, but we at least go from the 90s into the 80s. So currently we're tracking just to our north some isolated thunderstorms, one of which in western Massachusetts has become severe. It's drifting to the southeast, so heading in the direction of Springfield. So we're going to be monitoring this, but as the evening progresses, a lot of this will be dying out as we head toward and past sunset and the atmosphere stabilizes just a bit. So looking at the big picture, high pressure that has been offshore remains offshore. It's going to sink southward, and that's going to allow this front to our west to eventually slide in our direction. Behind this front, some cooler air. Unfortunately, that's not going to be reaching us. Again, we're going to go from the 90s to the 80s over the upcoming weekend. So overnight tonight, upper 60s, low 70s, a warm night. And tomorrow for tournament play as it kicks off at the TPC River Highlands in Cromwell, up into the mid 90s. Again, that's the air temperature. Factor in that high humidity, we're going even hotter than that. So forecasting temperatures tomorrow, the peak of our heat wave between 95 and 100 degrees inland. So 99, last time we achieved that for the Hartford area was back in 2021. So that is our forecast high for tomorrow, which will also break the record for tomorrow by 2 degrees. Mid and upper 80s likely along the shoreline. Again, when you factor in that high humidity, inland feeling like 100 to 105 tomorrow afternoon. Tomorrow, the severe threat is off to our north. Again, as storms develop, they'll tend to weaken as they head in our direction. Can't rule something out, say, over the hills of northwest Connecticut. Then for Friday, we're in that level 1 risk across western Connecticut, but the entire state on the level 1 excessive rain outlook for Friday, given that the atmosphere is loaded with moisture. Any storms that develop could produce some heavy rain. So we're going to have this boundary that's kind of draped across southern New England with the daytime heating. Notice how things really begin to develop during the afternoon. So when those storms develop will really dictate how high temperatures could go on Friday. We're forecasting low 90s. If clouds and rain perhaps develop a little bit sooner, then we'll be held into the 80s, and our heat wave will end after tomorrow, after 4 days. For the upcoming weekend, still warm, just not as hot. Mid and upper 80s, still humid. Some isolated thunderstorms possible both days, neither a washout. And then as we head into next week, another chance for storms on Monday with the passage of a cold front behind that, less humid, but still warm. Mid and upper 80s Tuesday, 85 to 90 next Wednesday.
All right, Mark, thank you.